not a shepherd, not a woman, it's not a mountain alley. He's like one of the 2 or 3 deputies on the dog court.
Good evening, residents. Today is Tuesday, October 20th, 7 o'clock, and we're getting ready to have a regular trustee meeting. We'll stand, do the Pledge of Allegiance, and get the meeting started. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, next we'd like to have a moment of silence to honor the military, firefighters, road workers, and sheriff's deputies, and they serve our community here and abroad. Thank you. Tracy, will we have a roll call, please?
Trustee McLaughlin.
Present.
Trustee McGuire.
Present.
Trustee Mann.
I had a message from Roy Mann about 5:30 stating he would not make it to the meeting. Okay, so the next thing on the agenda is review and approval of prior meeting minutes. And then, of course, as usual, there's no meeting minutes for approval. We have no meetings, I believe, since the 1st of January. And looking at the Zoom approach, I sent the meeting minutes that I had recorded for the first meeting in January, which is 2 hours and 50 minutes long, to a transcriber owned by Zoom. And should have those back today. I expect them the next day or two, and we'll look at those and see how that looks and what kind of process we can do. We've got to get our meeting minutes out there. I know some people think it's okay to get a hit in the audit, but no, that's not okay. So next is old business. Review and adopt the agreement with Montgomery County Commissioners. Who's got that?
Is this the lease agreement?
Yes.
Yeah, you meant?
Yes.
Oh, okay, that's different. Okay. Wow, this started September 1st. Okay. You just now get it, or why it take so long to get to us?
It just now came from the prosecutor's office through the county commissioners. But you haven't paid any money since, Tracy, what was the month that you stopped paying?
We never started paying this.
Well, yeah, but the Ag Society, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, say that again?
What was the last time you made a payment to the Ag Society for county?
Last year.
So we've not paid $1 for being in that space.
Well, that's, I'm just looking at, I didn't ask that question, I was looking at the date of the contract through. Pushing the blame over, I'm looking at the date of the September 1st, so Nathaniel's had this since September 1st for.
Yes. They've been talking back and forth between both legal counsel, the counsel for the township and the counsel for the county commissioner.
So there must be some issues with it, and it took them that long to agree on it?
No.
No.
CARES Act, or the COVID-19 has slowed down all operations at the county, so we're in line whenever they've got, that time to finish it.
Well, I'll let you, Jim, but I some time to look at it. Have you seen it? Have you seen it before tonight, Jim?
We'll send out an email with a copy of this a couple of weeks ago. It's not much different from the original agreement that you signed. What's the deadline on this, Mr. Wolf?
the county says that the deadline is like now because they started it on September 1st. But I'm sure if you defer, you defer. Nathaniel Peterson has looked this over twice.
So they give it to you on September 1st, expecting it to be paid and start paying rent on September 1st. And then they got a past due rent clause in here.
Does not apply until you sign the agreement, and then that applies going forward.
On the last page, somebody got it. This is the prosecutor eternal on October 2nd.
Don't know. You know who that is, Steve?
Nope. It's the council for the county commissioners. You see it's from Matthias Heck's office.
Does this have to have a date on the front page, or we're gonna date that later?
The process with all county documents is that the prosecuting attorney reviews the paperwork for the county. They send it out to the party. If the party agrees to the contract, you sign it, you send it back. It's not executed until the stamp is from the county commissioners. And then we get a copy of the stamped copy.
They'll put the date of the date they signed it?
Correct, correct. Because it's their facility. That's normal practice for all county agreements.
Did anybody sign this when it came to us, like the date that it was received? You know what day we got this?
No, I do not, but you can put the date received on the contract if you like.
I thought everything that came to us got stamped. I thought.
This is what was sent by the county. I can't answer for the county.
I'm not saying that. I'm saying everything we receive in the office supposedly gets time stamped, date stamped.
On legal documents, unless they're mailed to you, if they come electronically, you don't, there's no way to stamp them.
Okay, now I follow you. Okay. What do you want to do, Jim?
I'm okay with the agreement, let's just run it out when we get to resolutions.
What happened when we do what?
Let's vote it out when we have resolutions. I'm okay with the agreement, it's not much different from the original.
Okay, so. So if you're okay, we're gonna make a motion to pass it tonight, sign it?
Anyone want to do a resolution now?
We'll need, another. Is there something supposed to be on exhibit A? Is there supposed to be a picture there? It's see attached?
It's the map and it was not included in this particular document, but it's the map of the space that the township has agreed to occupy.
in the building itself, but they.
Right.
Here.
Yeah, you saw that
Yeah, yeah.
schematic before.
Okay.
Let's just get any discussion on the lease agreement out of the way at this point, and then we can just do it when we do all the resolutions and vote it out.
Okay. There's only one Jefferson Township signature, is what I'm saying.
They have one signature, but they said that anyone can sign it that's authorized to do so. And I advise whoever, approved the motion should sign the contract.
Nathaniel's okay with that?
Yes.
So, was the board, all three should sign it?
Yes. For those that are present that make the resolution.
Okay. Next whole business is discussion of the CARE purchases project.
Yeah, trustees, in your packet, I have a list that I promised you 2 weeks ago of the items that between the fire, road, and general funds that are needs that apply to COVID in one shape or fashion that qualify for payment of CARES Act funding. They're working on all the pricing for all 52 items at the present time. And more than one bid on each. Some of these items can be bought by state bid, meaning you do not have to have a second competitive bid. So we're identifying which ones are on state bid, which ones are going to have to be bid out. But this is the list of that's been cross-checked by the Montgomery County CARES Act office. These items here are the items that could apply possibly if you decide to purchase these before the end of the year.
You had somebody from the CARES Act went over this and said that all these items are okay.
We've followed every one of them. We called the office down.
No, that's not the question I asked is, you had someone from the CARES office say that these are okay.
Yeah, we went through them, line item by line item, over the telephone with them.
Wow. Because I'm looking at the requirements of the CARES Act, covered costs, and sure appears to me some of these would not fit.
They all have a fit because they're a purpose of the equipment or whatnot. There are some cities in Montgomery County that are buying full ambulances with the money. These are all individual things that cut down on COVID, prevent COVID from your workers getting it, cleaning up work environment where there's no toilets or hot water in a couple offices. So every one of these apply to CARES Act money. Doesn't mean you have to do it. Excuse me?
Refrigerators and stoves.
Exactly, because it's number one, you don't know if COVID is in the old equipment that's here now. And so the idea is to prevent COVID from getting into your work environment, or if it's in there, you need to try to do your best to eliminate it for the workplace environment for your workers. Again, this is just a list that's gone through and made sure that the money would apply. This is not a vote tonight on any of these items. I promised you a list of what the department heads and managers and myself feel like that we should look at.
Purchase a 4-man sauna for Station 59. How you figure that?
All right, so the sweat out for a firefighter after they're exposed to COVID, one of those things is a sauna environment. One of the things we're looking into is only working with a vendor that's at cost, not at markup, to purchase a unit. That is also a need outside of COVID, because of the sweat out of the carbons for firefighter cancer. So it's a dual role, but it applies under the CARES Act funding. But then, again, this is the list that we said we would bring to you, but you trustees, in next meeting, will have to decide which ones you
You
want
have the
to.
person's name that you talked to?
Excuse me?
You have the person's name you talked to?
I have to get it for you. I will get it for
Send it to
you.
me.
So be aware that for each one of these items that you say we have to, that they fit, you have to have documentation to prove it fits under the 3 tiers that I gave you the last month, the 3-prong test, and you have to fit under that 3-prong test.
Correct.
You have to have an explanation beside each one of them.
Correct.
So it's gotta be documented in the spreadsheet, because when the auditors come in, and they don't see either documentation, some legislation, or a letter from your lawyer saying that these are, they fit under there, they're gonna charge our budget. They're gonna take the money out of the CARES Act and put it in our budget and make us pay for it out of our budget.
You're correct, Tracy, but none of this is gonna be purchased without the 3-prong test.
I mean, we just have to have, it doesn't matter whether it's printed out the 3-prong test, we gotta have documentation
You will
beside
have,
each one.
if trustees make a purchase, they'll have that full documentation. But this was just to put it all together on one spreadsheet today. And then you have focus over the next 2 weeks before the next meeting to be able to put together the final pricing on all of it. And then realize what you're gonna have to cut, or maybe what trustees don't want to purchase, and we just cross it out. So there's no vote or anything, Mr. McLaughlin or Mr. McGuire tonight. It's just showing you a list of what all the departments feel like that they would like to purchase under the CARES Act.
Did I see something here about technology for Zoom?
Yes, you had mentioned that in the last meeting, so we threw that in there.
What number it was?
Here we go on the back is number 46.
46.
Okay, so I have a quote for that.
Great,
I'll give you a copy of it.
great, because we're putting folders together for everything. Just like Tracy had a company come through and do the security system, we have 2 others. One's given us a quote already of around $90,000.
I gave you those quotes on the table in front of you.
Right, so we have now 2 quotes on security systems, swipe card, fire security, system, all in one system. I haven't looked at Tracy's offer, but thank you very much for calling that company, Tracy, thank you. So now we have 2 there. Again, trustees, if it's on state bid, then there does not have to be a competitive second bid. Because whoever has the state bid in the state of Ohio, you can buy directly from. So we're working through those things too, because ourselves, and you can imagine, ourselves and every community across the United States all were given money. Everybody's trying to buy all this before the end of the year. So we're trying to do a solid approach, comprehensive approach, to get the most for the money that was given to protect the taxpayers and the operations of the township. So take these lists home, look at them, talk them over, call us, call the fire chief, come see the road and see what we're talking about so you fully understand what's on this list.
Okay, any more discussion on that? Jim, you have it? No? New business, adopt a schedule for the 2021 budget planning sessions.
Yes, trustees, I want to get our schedule set for all of our meetings for each department, and then a general joint session. Because on top of COVID, you're going to be trying to do the CARES Act thing by the end of the year. That's a lot of work. You're going to be trying to wrap up the year, and that's a lot of work. I want to be able to get the budget sessions set on a calendar. Whatever's to you guys, whatever you guys can, as trustees, can be, and the fiscal officer can attend. so we can try to organize and get our budget done before December 15th or sooner. That way, the fiscal officer has plenty of time to do what she has to do. So this, what I've asked here is just to be able to adopt a schedule, you know, that we can hold our meetings. So we can go ahead and advertise them to the public.
Well, there's no dates in there, you guys suggestions, or we'll just fill this in and send it back?
Yeah, well, I just didn't know what you guys' you know, personal schedule looked like, so I didn't want to put anyone to those. I just wanted to, you know, if you guys could look at your calendars and we could set those dates tonight, that would be very helpful.
Do we want to fill in with the off-cycle Tuesdays for my meetings, Tuesday, Thursday type?
Can't make a decision on Mr. Mann, when he knows he's tired, he might have plans. So you suggested the opposite Tuesdays or Thursdays, Jim?
Yeah. The December 15th deadline.
That's better than last year, last year we were in the very end of the year. Okay, so,
We're probably gonna have to do a mix because we got the week of Thanksgiving, that's gonna be tough to get anybody in here.
are we ready to start next Tuesday? Yeah, I'll be ready that fast.
Who's gonna be the first department?
You have a sheet that's in your packet. We would like to start out with the fire because that's the largest budget. And with most activities going on, then we'd like to go road next, which is your second largest budget, and then zero in on the general and all, you know, et cetera, which is your cemetery, your trash district, your lighting district.
Well, I think next Tuesday's pushing it, so.
Yeah.
He said week of Thanksgiving's bad, I agree with that. So, the second, do the 10th, which is the Tuesday, mid-Tuesday, and that Thursday, the 10th and the 12th. Fire the 10th, road on the 12th, and then the general on the 19th. The 17th 's a meeting. Those Tuesdays and Thursdays. You make Tuesdays and Thursdays of the second, third week full evenings.
Good.
We'll do that, so fire will be 11/10.
I can't do Thursday,
You can't do the 12th?
can't do any Thursday.
You can do any Thursday, no, can't do any Thursday, okay. Can you do, how about, okay, so we start off that Tuesday the 10th, can't do Thursday, 11th's a holiday, Fridays are bad. What about Monday the 16th?
Good.
Tracy? Huh?
Yes, that's fine.
Okay, so fire's the 10th, roads the 16th, and then general, actually it's the holiday. That would be Wednesday, so that week we do Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. Do the 18th,
For general,
Wednesday, the general, yes.
Okay.
And then the last one, I kind of put in there for you to consider, is their final joint session. So we could tie any loose ends that fire or road didn't have done, or general didn't have done, or something Tracy said needed to be done. You've got time to get it done, and then have a final session to tie it all together.
So what about the work session, the first meeting of the summer?
Yeah.
Tie it
You
together?
definitely could do that.
December 8th?
The first one,
It'd be the first on my
Okay.
calendar.
These are all at 6 o'clock?
I'm good with that.
6 is good.
Okay. New business, renewal of current city of Dayton trash contract.
In your package, trustees, you have the City of Dayton's renewal, all for the same existing contract that's been renewed 3 years in a row. And so they've asked you to approve for 2021. This does not include the pay-as-you-throw. COVID has pushed pay-as-you-throw back for at least probably 12 months from now. So this just is your straight trash contract like you've been renewing. You had for periods of 3 years at a time until the last couple of years, which has been 1 year renewal. This also has been reviewed by your assistant county prosecutor.
I looked it over, I'm okay with it.
Anything changed from the last contract, Steve?
The only thing I think changed was a slight change in the billing fee.
And they go up a couple bucks, 218.
Yeah, right. That's the only change that we saw line item by line item. It's the same boilerplate agreement.
And that's, I think 213, I think $5. I mean, I'm trying to remember what I paid last year. I think it was 213. You know, Steve, do you remember what I'm talking
No,
about?
I don't have that with me today.
It's gonna be 228 this year. Oh, wait, is it 220?
228, and they, 228 is if you do recycle. So they charge you $10 extra to get a recycling container. 218 is just strictly for a trash container. So why would somebody recycle? You look at it, I read that, you read that. So just the regular green trash can, one is 218, picked up every week. Now, if you want a recycling service, the extra can, you pay $10 more. So why would I recycle?
And that's the exact reason, as we talked before, Mike and Jim, the same reason why only 10% of the residents of Jefferson does any recycling. And that's why we're under 9% participation rate.
Yeah.
And we're the next, all communities in Montgomery County are above 15. Most are in the 20 range. And the whole idea of recycling is that you cut down on what goes into the stovetop landfill or other trash dumps, because recycling doesn't make it to the trash dump.
Well, if you were in a situation, you need 2 cans, you had several kids,
Right,
and need 2 cans, then it would be worth it, because you get 2 cans for $2.28.
right.
I mean, that's another way to look at it. You get that second can for $10 and just make that a recycling can, recycle.
Right.
And yes, I'm recycling. So one way to look at it.
Exactly.
So,
And that's, again, that's the only difference that Mr. Peters said.
But that still puts us ahead of the surrounding communities on trash fees.
Yes, it does.
Okay. Do we need to sign that tonight after? we
Yeah,
approve
yeah.
it?
Well, I mean, if you approve it tonight.
okay. Any more discussion on that?
Nope.
Okay, under, I guess we do business what we're talking about. I know that myself and Mr. Mann had phone conversations with, and if anybody's been to the meetings, anybody's been to numerous meetings, you remember Pastor Graham. There's a Pastor Graham that's come to several meetings, and has asked us more than once. He owns 4 lots on Maynard, the church does. And he wants to combine those 4 lots into 1 lot. I mean, he's paying a tax bill. I'm willing to work with the gentleman. He's, I have no problem doing it. The way I understand this works, if you correct me, Steve, is the fact that we have to give the okay as a township for him to have, yes, you can do that. So I have a description of them here. The 4 lots and a picture of them. And so I think what he needs first is from the township trustees, yes, you can do that. And then it's upon him he has to hire a surveyor. We have to have those lots resurveyed and a new deed written into a 1 deed parcel. So I just told him that, he's asked and asked and asked, and I told him I'll try to get the ball rolling on it. So that's where we stand. And Jim, would you be okay with him proceeding on with that?
It's gonna go through Mr. Callaghan first, that's the first step on this.
Okay, so that's what you want,
It's a zoning
so-
issue. And then
So-
we need a hearing, and then it's gotta go before the county for a replat. So there's gonna be some process and some votes.
Well, that's okay, but
Actually, it's gonna be a BZA case because it's just like separating a house from land on a farm. So it's gonna have to go through Mr. Callaghan first.
they're all zoned the same, correct? Are they all?
We're gonna follow procedure with zoning. I'm not gonna sign off
I
on this
understand.
without him looking at it.
Understand that. Okay. So, Mr. Wolf, would you please give this to Mr. John Callaghan and ask him if what it takes, he may make a presentation in the next meeting, what's involved in making this happen?
Sure will.
Let's just do that then.
Do you have the contact information for for the bishop?
I can get it to you.
That's fine, after the meeting, you don't worry. That way John knows who to call.
Okay.
Thank you.
As I said, he's contacted me several times, and we've got to listen to our residents. And as he said, I know he said in one meeting, he's been asking this for over a year. So, I'm just not gonna ignore it. So that's all I have in business. Yeah. Okay, anybody else have anybody else have any business? Anybody else have any business we want to discuss? Jim?
You mentioned the Zoom. How close are we to implementing that? Like, can we get that in place in time for some of these budget meetings?